Hello, beautiful, and welcome to this episode about your full true self. What is being your full true self, and why do we want to do it? So, this episode will cover my own experience, my definitions, and 5 pointers from my guides about you being your full true self. I'm Jamie Ehrenberg with Idlewild Retreats, and this is my journey of following my intuition and becoming my full true self. So, as you can tell by the title of this YouTube channel, Becoming My Full True Self, I really value this part of my personal transformation and my evolution along the way of being human in this lifetime. And I realize that we talk about being our full true selves, but like, what does that actually mean and why does it matter? And how do each one of us actually walk the path to becoming our full true self? So, what is the full true self? I believe that in this human lifetime, in this human body, our souls have an authentic expression that we are able to show up as. And I think that because of our ancestral history, our past lives, and even what our birth human families are experiencing or cause us to experience, and our own personal choices too, that we are conditioned in a lot of different ways to behave a certain way. And that isn't necessarily what our authentic, what our full true self is. So I believe that what we're walking on in this lifetime, and this is why I say my journey of becoming my full true self, is that we're continually walking this path of becoming more and more of who we truly are at our core. And in reality, a lot of that is releasing and uncoupling from all of those other things that I just named, our ancestral experiences that we brought into this lifetime, our past life experiences, all of the things that we experience in our day to day as we're growing up, anything that happens to us along the way that might be causing trauma and conditioning, because it doesn't all have to be a trauma. These things that society is telling us is how we need to be, how we need to behave, and those things all coming away to actually reveal our true authentic selves is that path of becoming our full true self. And I do say the journey to becoming, it's very active, because my hypothesis is that we're going to continue to do that the entire time that we're alive as humans, because we're constantly being given lessons of things to react to. Even if we have dropped most of that, are we ever going to be able to drop all of it? I don't know. Is there a specific event that happens in our life that then brings us back to a previous way of behaving, and then we have to work through that? Probably. I've seen this happen to me, and even quite literally in the last week, I had a bunch of things come up that came up from a different angle. And I can give some astrology references, but I don't think it's so important. It was like oh, yeah, now you're looking at this from this different way, and you're processing now through your emotions. I talk a lot about that in my work, of all of these different layers of the soma, and I had to do some acknowledgement of some situations and some history through my emotional body that got really uncomfortable this last week. And that's okay. That's all part of me learning the fullness of me in this human body in the 5 layers of the soma, the physical, the spiritual, the energetic, the emotional and mental body, and getting to work through all of that. So, with that said, the full true self, I believe, is the highest expression of who we can be in this human lifetime. And that's something that we're journeying towards becoming continually based on all of the experiences we're having. With that, I actually want to share a little bit about, we had a full moon ceremony this last weekend, and it was just so incredibly beautiful of how many people were sharing about what they've been doing or who they've been being to accommodate other people or to mirror what they believe success is in the world. And being able to sit in a circle with other women allowed them to say, oh, yeah, this is not me. This isn't who I truly am or who I want to be. And even naming that and seeing that in the full moon, being able to help them illuminate that part of them that they want to actually be that full true self, knowing that there's a lot of work to get to that place, and even get to that place again in some cases where they were on that path and took on other roles and moved away from that and wanting to get back to how they were able to serve and be in the world as their full true selves. I feel like we're constantly mirroring that to each other, and I feel like that's a lot of what this actual YouTube channel is about, is me being able to talk about that process for myself so that it hopefully inspires you to continue walking down that path and becoming more and more of your full true self. So with that, now I'm going to share the 5 messages that my guides pass through about you in your process of becoming your full true self. So the first thing that they said is only you know who this is. I can't tell you who your full true self is. You are the only one that can tell you that. And I love this piece of self-autonomy, self-authority, of really being able to connect in with all of our knowing and be able to be and understand who we're supposed to be, but that nobody else but you is going to understand and know who that is. Message 2 was that your full true self comes from a rooted, grounded place, anchored deep into the earth. And how they showed me this was that I could feel the being low in my body and being able to literally connect with the root chakra, and just above that, like the sacral chakra, there was just a lot of heaviness and grounding coming from those 2 parts of the body. But then it actually felt like there was a cord, like that root, that energetic cord, all the way down into the center of the earth, like so deeply rooted. And I offer that to you too, of, is that connecting in that way? So if you're like, oh, okay, the answer is within me and only me, nobody else can tell me this, great, I get that. How do I get there? That was their next tip, was that you will know this from a rooted, grounded place, anchored deep in the earth, and trying to connect to those 2 chakras, and then with that cord all the way down to the earth would be how I would recommend it, because that's how they showed it to me. The third message, the third tip, was that being your full true self will eventually be so easeful and natural. And this again was shown to me in the body, was soft, relaxed shoulders, an open, soft heart, and just being able to move through the world as your full true self. And the more and more you're doing that, the more and more comfortable and natural that position in your body will be. It's going to be different for all of us, how we're holding ourselves, how uncomfortable or comfortable that is to begin with. But that those soft shoulders and soft open heart is really beautiful to think about. Okay, this is how I will know if I'm orienting or maneuvering as my full true self. Message number 4 was your full true self is very connected to your higher self, but it is different and who you are meant to be in this lifetime. So I actually alluded to that. It is your soul and who your soul is supposed to be, but it's in this human body, in this particular lifetime, with all of the circumstances that you were born into, again, with ancestral birth family, all of the experiences that you had while you were alive in this human body. And all of these things, even our human body, are shaping our experiences so to create your full true self in this current human lifetime. And I think about my mast cell disease, which is an autoimmune related disorder. This is something that is impacting and informing my entire life, and what is being my full true self in this lifetime, it is filtered through that genetic trait that I have, that experience that I'm having that displays itself in my body and has a real felt experience. And so how do I be my full true self given the body that I was born into, as well as the family and the ancestry that I was born into? And lastly, tip number 5, and this one was so beautiful. Know that you are divinely supported to be this version of yourself. You are divinely supported to be this version of yourself. That means to me that you are worthy, that you are capable, you are safe, you are enough. That layer of support is so deep within you, within your soul, from God, the universe, source. You are divinely supported to be this version of you. So even if it's scary, because you're going to be somebody different to other people, not really to yourself, you're just allowing yourself to be more of yourself. But even if it feels scary, for a whole host of reasons, you are divinely supported to be this version of you. I cannot wait to see more of your full true self coming online. Again, it's a journey, it's this becoming. I would love to hear in the comments below what message really resonated the most with you, and thank you for all of you that do add comments or message me or email me to tell me how these are landing for you. And I really love it when you write the comments directly below in this YouTube video, because it allows other people to have this opportunity of seeing something or healing something in themselves that they might not be able to do on their own. And so thank you for sharing when you do. If you are interested in knowing your higher self better and understanding that fullness and connecting to your soul and your soul's essence, check out the private attunements, my intuitive soul readings. I'd love to support you in connecting with more of that, which is only going to allow your full true self to really be able to come forward in this lifetime. I'm sending you a lot of love, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.